Hey guys, Phil Baumhardt here. So for today's knife of the week, I've got this Merovingian Breitsax to show you. So the Merovingian dynasty was in the Frankish kingdom from about 500 AD to about 700, and then the Carolingian dynasty took place after that. So the Carolingians are going to be Charles Martel and Charlemagne. So the Merovingians are kind of the original Frankish dynasty. So this is a style of knife that existed in the Merovingian and Carolingian period, so Iron Age and Viking Age. Basically just a drop point, but they also had more of a spear point style, and then kind of the classic CX style that we think of. But this exact blade shape is very similar to some found in northern France and southern Germany. So in the Germanic, it is called a sax, which just means knife. And also in the Frankish, scramasax, that's kind of, when I was in high school and all that, all these fighting knives were called scramasaxes, which in Frankish, I guess, or in the one reference that's used, I believe it was a Frankish manuscript. Scramasax just means wounding knife, so basically combat knife, as we would call it today. So nothing that really sets a Breitsax apart from like any other sort of camp knife, like a Hudson Bay knife. Just a broader blade, drop point, narrow tang. But they didn't use any rivets, so there's no rivets in this knife, as you can see. I did put a little brass collar on there just to conceal kind of the slot for the tang and all that, and make it look real nice. So the wood here, I was under the impression that it was like a green ash, green ash as opposed to white ash, but I'm not even sure that green ash is actually a tree. This looks an awful lot like black walnut. This is wood from a native tree. I got this from a friend of mine. So it's a natural growing tree, so you got a little bit of a knot there. That's kind of cool. So a different kind of grain than something that you would buy from the store. And I think it looks pretty nice. Just the way that the carving came out, kind of I guess a bird's head, you could call it, but very simple, but it still locks the hand in real good. I made sure to taper it this way towards the knuckles, so it's fatter in there. That sort of fills up the palm of the hand, and then your fingers wrap around there. So this knife really feels like a good chopper, and it just feels really good in hand. Very simple, but I'm really happy with the way this one came out. So another feature of the Frankish knives was this kind of groove, and you'll see that in Viking knives and Anglo-Saxon knives as well. So I put that in there with a Dremel, just trying something out, and it kind of just adds to that period look. So I'm happy with that. The steel is same leaf spring from the Viking long sax video, where it's got these kind of natural pitting and rust spots from the spring being left out in the woods for years and years and years. So it just sort of, again, adds to the period look. You just look at this and it's like, I've seen that in books. I've seen that in, historical references. So just something kind of cool. I like that. And with the way that the quench worked, this is quenched in deer tallow, came out real black. So I just left that, put the final edge on there. So that's how we got to this point today. So I don't believe I covered it at the beginning, but Breitsax just means broad knife and I believe it's modern German. There's a couple of German guys that put together kind of a scramasax typology, long sax, broad sax, narrow sax. So that's why I call it the Merovingian Breitsax. So here's the sheath that I came up for it. Real solid fit. Once it's fully seated in the sheath like this, it's actually quite difficult to get out. On the archaeological finds, there's always some sort of hardware around here. Sometimes there's circular metallic disc-looking thing, so that's either for suspension system. Sometimes that was decoration, or they'd have plating around the edge side just to help protect the leather and keep the knife from cutting through. But there really aren't too many scabbards that have been found. So I wanted to make something that was useful in the modern era. So if you buy this, and this should be available on the Etsy web store right now, if you pick this up, you could use it maybe a little more easily in a modern context. So what I did do is we have this big one, and this is not glued down or anything, so you could run a belt through here. Same with these. You can run a belt through one or both of those. So you could wear it horizontally in a scalp carry, appendix carry. You could lash it to a backpack, whatever your fancy takes you. You could do that, and I also put these slits in here so that you can weave your belt through and wear this knife more traditionally, well, more modern traditionally, in a vertical configuration. And there's a good deal of period smaller knives with leather sheaths, medieval knives, where there's just two slits cut in the leather itself. There's no extra piece here, but I put this extra piece on here so you have a complete solid scabbard, and then with this riveted on, you got multiple carry options. And with this extra leather on here, this thing is just solid right now. There we go. It's actually, if you really jam it in there all the way, it's hard to get out right now. I'm sure it'll break in, but what's kind of nice is that if you want to be able to get it out easier, you can even right here, it's very solid. You can get a full grip on it and pull it out, but if you really want to lock it in, you can get all the way in there, and as time goes on, it'll still be a secure fit. And that's historically accurate on many of the Anglo-Saxon Viking knives. With the surviving sheaths that we have, the scabbards sometimes go all the way up to the top, and they have like a little lanyard or something that you can pull it out, but it'll go all the way up to the top of the handle. So that's your retention system in the Dark Ages, Viking Age. So anyways, just wanted to show you guys this. Treated that with the my classic birch oil. So pretty happy with the way this one came out. I was trying to kind of combine kind of the Iron Age aesthetics with something that could be used in the modern era. Camp knife, hunting knife, just a hard working, no frills kind of blade. So if you think you might want to own this knife or another one like it, go ahead and check out my Etsy web store. I'm going to have links in the description, also at the top of the page here. You can also follow Blackheart Forge on Facebook and Instagram and see what my latest, greatest works are. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and until next time, be more Viking.